The day has finally come for me to repot Sasha. Sasha 1.0, that is. Yes sir, it's that time again. Time for another basic plant care video. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the Pandacup Studio. My name is Trey. That is my man Chibi.
你好，
And here on this channel, we discuss all things basic plant
为
care.
什么你总是要做介绍？
What'd you say?
我说你为什么总是做介绍？
He wants to do the introduction, guys, so let him have it.
谢谢。大家好，欢迎来到我们的新频道熊猫杯工作室。我叫赤壁，那是我的朋友托盘。今天的视频都是关于龟背竹的。今天我们将把我最喜欢的植物短笛和萨沙放在新的土壤里。如果你看到这里，你会看到它在顶部兜钱了，需要改变。另外，你可以看到萨沙很伤心，需要新的土壤。它1年没变。今天我们会给它新的土壤和大量的肥料，这样它就可以恢复健康了。
You gonna do the basic plant care tips too, guy? Or you want me to do those?
你可以照顾它们。
Alright.
The Monstera deliciosa, otherwise known as the Monstera. This is probably my favorite plant of all. Everyone loves this plant. You'll pretty much find this plant all over social media. It has its own days, Monstera Mondays. Very popular plant. This plant is native to the rainforests of Central America. And this is a vine type plant. It grows very large depending on your space. It has a moderate growth rate of about a couple of feet per year. But if you're gonna plant it outdoor, just be mindful. It's a vine type plant, so it will crawl and it will spread and it will grow really fast depending on the conditions and its location. You'll also notice these aerial roots growing out of the soil and off the branches. Those are the roots that support the plant, and it'll extend the plant pretty much over anything that is growing, especially if it's growing outside. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the basic plant care tips of this plant that we all love. As with most house plants, you want to use a well-draining potting mix. Pine bark or coconut chip mix can be added to the soil mixture for extra aeration. However, I've grown mine just fine indoor with Kellogg's basic potting mix. I will, however, try the mixture everyone uses on social media with all the pine bark and everything to see how the plant grows compared to the basic potting mix that I use. You know, but this channel is all about basic, inexpensive plant care. So if it's not too expensive, I'll pass the information on to you guys. As for me, the basic potting mixture has always worked fine and is working fine. This is a tropical plant, so you probably want to water this plant weekly. You can check the soil with a finger test. If it's dry the length of your finger, go ahead and water it. The Monstera thrives in bright to medium indirect light. She's not really suited for intense direct sun, but can be acclimated to withstand it depending on the length of exposure and zone that you're in. As always, when it comes to fertilizing my plants, I always use Alaska fish fertilizer. No, I am not being sponsored by these people. It's just it's a great basic all-around fertilizer for your plants, no matter if it's indoor, outdoor, or your garden, your veggies, or whatever. It's just a great fertilizer, and I basically use it each time I water this plant and all of my plants. Out of all plants that does well indoor, this plant does absolutely wonderful indoor. It prefers humid conditions, so you might want to consider spraying it with a mist or a humidifier just to keep the humidity up indoors. But other than that, this plant is very easy to take care of. As with most house plants, this plant is mildly toxic to pets, so best to keep them away from chewing it. Younger plants will need to be repotted to keep up with their growth rate, as they tend to grow pretty fast. Once they've gotten pretty big, you can repot every 8 to 12 months depending on your soil conditions. Alright, so now that we got all the basic plant care tips out the way for the Monstera deliciosa, we're gonna go ahead and repot Sasha. You can look inside here, you'll see this white play sand. I was trying to control the fungus gnats with it, but it worked. They disappeared, but I was just concerned about the moisture that it was retaining in the pot, not properly drying out, even though I do have air holes at the bottom. But still, I was just worried about what was going on underneath still. So I removed it. I honestly don't have any idea what I'm gonna do with her. I just know I'm gonna repot her. All of these air nodes, the little vines that you see, these things here, these are gonna get pushed right back down into the pot. When I say Sasha 1.0, this is actually the first half of Sasha. The second half is actually upstairs. Yeah, this is a huge plant. If you guys are gonna get these plants in your home, make sure you have a lot of space. These plants can get probably about 3 to 4 feet wide, depending on how you're letting it grow, and another 3 to 4 feet high, even higher depending on your space in your roof space, your lighting, and just depending on how you let the plant grow as far as your pots. With this plant here as well, for sure, the bigger the pot, the bigger the plant. I've seen these large plants in smaller pots, but it seems like they're managing the size. The moment I put Sasha in one of these really big pots and gave her room to grow underneath, this thing spread across the entire wall back here. That's why I had to cut her into 2 pieces. If you're thinking about propagating these are really easy to propagate once again. I've seen people, you can cut the nodes right here. As long as you're cutting where the nodes are and stick this in water, you'll be fine. Other than that, you can propagate it exactly how I did. Like, you can take this half of the plant, put a pot up underneath it, and just bury the roots. These are little air nodes that's hanging off. Bury them, fill it up with soil and water it regularly, just as if you would with any plant. And once you'll know when it takes on, because once it catches, that half of the plant will be a lot thicker than the other side of the plant, and that's when you know that it's actually caught on. But give it a couple weeks. I think I gave Sasha about 6 weeks before I actually cut her off the base of this plant. But yeah, we're just gonna work some dirt off. I'm not gonna flip this whole thing over because it's too big. I want to get as much dirt out on the side as I can, and then I'm gonna just pull it out. And when you're gonna repot these, it's good to let them dry out completely. That way it's easier to manage. If this was wet, like after I have watered and I'm trying to change it, I probably wouldn't be able to do it because first off, the plant would be twice as heavy. And then it would just be extra messy and it wouldn't break off as easy. So yeah. You can see here, got her out the pot. And she's, root system looks pretty good still. Root system looks pretty good still. Doesn't look bad. I let it dry out for a while. Yeah, man. Not a ton of roots as you probably would expect in that big pot. So you can see why sometimes they keep them in the smaller pots. But she has tons of air roots. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick all of them back into that one pot and see what she does in a couple weeks, guys. I am so happy I'm finally repotting this damn plant, man. I don't think you understand. Every video that I've been filming prior to this one, you can see her in the corner back there looking poop. Get this pot filled. I'm gonna clean it off, but yeah, it'll be fine. Alright, so you got a 2-to-1 ratio mix of potting soil and cow manure compost. I've already sprinkled a bunch of worm castings in here as well. You're not gonna fill it all the way. You just want to fill it just enough, so you can get the roots comfortable down underneath. And then we're gonna sit the plant in, and then we're gonna fill it up on the top. Put the rest on top or whatever. But you're gonna get enough in. Like I said, we're gonna tuck all of the air roots, those air nodes, back into this pot. And once it starts to take root, the plant is gonna go done.
I honestly don't have any idea what or how I'm gonna do this plant. Yeah, so you can see here, what I want to do is just figure out how I'm gonna position these plants in this pot, back into this pot, fill it up with soil, and let it do its thing. This is the problem that you guys are gonna have with these monsteras. These things are gonna grow out of control. All right, so we're gonna take some basic tweed and tie these back to the stick to try to give it some direction to grow. Cut off a few pieces. You want to kind of grab the leaf that is kind of putting the weight onto that particular branch and then tie it up. So it's this one here, and I'm going to use this one as well to support to the branch. Not too tight, you just want to give it enough pull so to give the plant some direction. All right, and we're going to get this one here too. Tie another piece. You're gonna find this is not difficult. You just want to make sure you position them up right and give everything else space to grow and direction. And there's no right or wrong way to this. It's pretty much your preference. All right, she's pretty much done for now, guys. She's been repotted. I'm gonna water her down really, really well. But there's not much more you need to do. I'm gonna prune this joker here off here. Could prune some more off. Let's prune this one off. Prune this one here off as well. All right, so she should be good now, guys. We're gonna water her down really good and wipe down these leaves. I'm not gonna cut any more off of her, and we're just gonna let her do her thing. She'll get back when we cut it out. That's her. We're gonna give her a good drenching. That's after I get all this mess out. We're gonna get her over in the corner first, and then I'm gonna clean up most of this, and then I'll get back to you in a second. All right, she's in her spot. She looks a lot better, actually. Of course, she's tied down. I haven't watered it yet, but yeah, man, she looks a lot better than before. I'm gonna go ahead and give her some, sprinkle some of these on top of the soil. I'm also gonna make a tea concoction out of this. What I'm gonna do is take like not a handful, but probably nice little small pinch or two, put it in a water bottle and let it soak for about 5 to 10 minutes and just shake it up really good. And then I'm gonna take that and pour it into my water container and fill it up with water. And that's what I'm gonna do to fertilize this on her first plant. And I'm gonna also add some Alaska fish fertilizer in there as well to give her a good jump start, since she hasn't been watered in forever. And I know she's lacking a bunch of nutrients and whatnot, so we wanna get her going. And I'm also gonna wipe down the leaves. But yeah, man, she's looking better. I'm so happy for you, Sasha. Nah, man, it's been a while since I potted this thing, and I know she was cursing me out. So yeah, I just can't wait for her to, get back on track and fill this corner back up again. So when she fills it up again, I'm gonna cut her in half again. And I'm probably gonna let one of you guys get that half. So start subscribing to the channel. I'm gonna be doing giveaways often, and I'll be more than happy to, give you guys free plants while you're here and watching the channel and, tuning in and whatnot. So yeah, like, subscribe, and give me a sec. We'll go ahead and get this going. So yeah, we'll take some and sprinkle some of this fertilizer around the base of it, and that's slow release. So as we water in the days, nutrients will get down into it. And you just want to mix that up into the top layers of the soil. And as we water, the nutrients will go down into it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that tea concoction made. All right, I got my trusty water bottle, Gatorade bottle. Just take like I said, to make this tea, just take a, palm full. This will do. I'm not watering all the plants, and you just want to put it in the bottle. You want to waste some, don't worry. Sweep, vacuum. But yeah, you want to get them in. fill it with water. And you just want to let it soak in that bottle for about 5-10 minutes. I'll probably let it do it about 10-15. All right, I think we are ready. See how cloudy it is? We're just gonna take this and pour it into your water container. Probably take, not even half. I'm gonna probably pour about right there where the top of the G is, and fill my container with water, and we're good to go. We're gonna water in increments. I'm not gonna completely drench this right now. I'm gonna water a little bit right now, and then I'm gonna come back about 30 minutes later and pour some more. I just wanna make sure the entire pot gets moisture, you know, it's properly watered, that's all. And there you have it. Finally, she got repotted. She's gonna look way healthier than this, probably within about a week. I'll give her about a week and a half to really get right. She should absorb some of this moisture that I put in there just now, today. So what I do is I give you guys a 24-hour update. I'll come in, wake up in the morning, and I'll give you guys a clip of what she looks like the very next day. But she looks good. She'll fill out some of the leaves. They're a little dryish looking at the moment, but I'm gonna wipe them down and I'll give you guys a look in the morning. And let's see what my man Chibi's plan is looking like. What do you think? Was it hard?
一点也不，正如我所料，顺利又轻松。
Not bad, not bad. All right, my man, you ready to close this video out?
我可以走了。
Let's do it. All right. Thanks for tuning in with us on another plant care video, guys. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe below. You can also find awesome merch at our website, thepandacupstudio.com. Till next time. Peace.
之后。
All right.